made myself a route on which I don't go above 2,000 meters with a car to avoid problems with regeneration, the DPF filter, the CO2 emission. But it. I have to trust the car. Hello everyone, I am René Baars. Welcome, and I'd love for you to join me on my South American exploration. There are roads that feel less like paths and more like tests. The kind that don't show up on your GPS. The kind Google knows, but Garmin doesn't dare to mention. That I'm driving in this region is one of the reasons I didn't go to the Amazon. And I have to say, so far it's not disappointing. I'm in the Yungas, cloud forest, beautiful. National Route 83 leaves San Francisco, Argentina, a one-road town nestled in canyon country, and climbs relentlessly toward Humahuaca, dragging me and my modern diesel car into thinner and thinner air. It starts innocently enough. The first hour and a half to Valle Grande is full of rhythm. Engine working hard, revs high, corners sharp and unpredictable. 100 of them in a row. Blind, loose gravel under the tires. I try to keep the RPM up, a strange goal for such a narrow technical route. But the motor responds, it regenerates, all the way to 0 bars. Beautiful canyons and rivers blur past the windows. No pictures yet, too focused, too dialed in. Something is pulling me forward, not just the road, but the challenge. Past Valle Grande it gets steeper. I push into first gear more often. 20 kilometers to Santa Ana. The car claws its way upward. I shift manually, trying to keep power, fighting inertia and thin air. I make videos now, the views deserve it. The adventure deepens. I turn onto National Route 73. Just after Santa Ana, the warning light flashes. DPF full, see owner's manual. I know what it means. Manual regeneration required. But I'm only 60 kilometers past the last one. That shouldn't happen. And yet it has. The road has barely allowed for consistent RPMs. Altitude over 4,000 meters. Air pressure low, throttle inconsistent. It's the worst case scenario for a diesel system that wants sea level and speed. Still, I pull over, I breathe, I initiate the regeneration. And to my surprise it works. Quickly. Maybe the filter wasn't even full. Maybe it's just the altitude lying to the sensors. Or the car whispering its own nervousness. I haven't reached the summit yet. I consider turning around. The warning light rattled me, but I've come this far. Then the real test begins. 4,515 meters, then 4,550. A third summit looms after that. I am lightheaded. Every time I get out of the car, I have to sit or I will faint. My breath shortens, not panic, just a strange tension in the body, like the air has turned into something heavier and thinner all at once. The road climbs steeply, brutally, first gear, full torque. I'm not just steering anymore, I'm commanding. The terrain demands presence, not just power. One mistake here and it's not the engine that suffers. Then finally the road starts to fall. A steep descent down to 3,600 meters. Then up again for one final climb. I stay in first gear the whole time. It's brutal, but it's exhilarating. I used the power setting far more today than any other time. Had to. There are sections where eco mode would have left me stuck or sliding. The car pulled through, so did I. This isn't my first time riding the edge. Back in 2007, I rented a cheap manual motorbike in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Figured I'd learn to shift gears as I went. "5 days, waterfalls, national parks, adventure." By mid-morning I had launched myself over the handlebars, crashing into a ravine. No serious injuries, but the bike was wrecked. I still had sunlight, the engine still ran, so I kept going. The dirt road turned worse by the kilometer. Steep inclines, sand, washouts, ravines. No signs, no tourists, no backup. I was deep into northern Thailand's highlands, slipping down narrow paths where the road was barely wider than my handlebars. I'd stop on blind corners to catch my breath and ask myself, what the hell am I doing here? Twice I nearly ran out of fuel, saved by tiny villages that appeared out of nowhere. Once I coasted down a mountain with the fuel carts long past empty, counting down the kilometer markers like lifelines. That night I stayed in a village that didn't even have a guest house. The family gave me a bed. We ate dinner together. I showered with a bucket of hot water in a concrete tub. The locals got high and passed around joints thicker than anything I had seen back home. I taught a little English, learned a little Thai. The next day the trail was worse. Rivers, buffalo herds, mud, slippery rock. My arms ached. My nerves were fried. I lost count of how many times I nearly tipped the bike. This wasn't riding anymore. This was survival, trial style. I had no proper map, no backup, just my own instincts and the decision. Keep going. I didn't come here to be reckless. I didn't come here to test a machine or to push my own body toward fainting on a mountain road. I came here to feel something real. This journey reminded me sometimes the challenge isn't about cliffs or death-defying curves. Sometimes the edge is quieter, a warning light, a soft loss of breath, the silence of a car struggling to breathe where humans barely can. It's easy to think of risk as loud, dramatic, but this kind, the creeping kind, the mechanical kind, the physiological kind, teaches something deeper. That even in a modern machine on a mapless road, the unknown still exists. And in that space, between the regeneration cycles, between switchbacks and summits, I found presence. Not bravado, not glory, just the quiet joy of going forward, of trusting the road, of listening to the engine, and of knowing that not turning back was the right decision. Risk is a choice, not a threat. Let's check the DPF filter. 3 bars, still holding on to altitude. I'm driving 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. And the system starts regenerating. So it works perfectly. Except on high altitude, but I knew that. Through the multicolored mountains, I descend back into the Yungas. I've come down to 2000 meters. I'm back in the Yungas. Trees return. The air grows thick again. No more tension, no more tight breath, just green, gravity, and the quiet relief of everything working as it should.